Today was day 49. It's really late and I just finished my meditation. I almost skipped today. I started doing things in the morning, well, in the beginning of the afternoon, things that I was procrastinating about doing, and I felt terrible, so I thought, I'm feeling terrible anyways, just get it over with. At least you won't add up to the feeling negative with your guilt of not having done the things. So the things ended up taking a little more time. And then, well, it's funny because yesterday I was saying that this is so unknown and it's so stressful that whatever happens will be a miracle, because I couldn't see what could potentially help my situation. And well, that miracle came, believe it or not. I want to say it's unbelievable, and yet it's not. It's something that I had taken steps towards, but I was powerless as to whether or not it would work out, or when, or if. And so suddenly there's no more stress about money for a long while. And there's psychological help on the way as well. I'll be able to hire a specialized trauma therapist, a psychotherapist who's specialized in trauma and PTSD and all that. Something I couldn't afford at the moment. And what is interesting is that as much as I don't like to be dragged down so low when difficult situations occur in my life, I don't want to be super high either when good things happen. Not that I don't like being high or being super happy, but these highs are, if they're conditional on circumstances, it also sucks. I don't like to be, I said that in the beginning of this challenge 50 days ago, 49 days ago. I don't like my mood to be at the mercy of what happens in my life circumstance. Oh, something bad happens, you're depressed. Something good happens, you're happy. I want my state of being to be self-sufficient or independent of the chatter of life and mind. And so I don't know if it's a protection mechanism or defense mechanism in me that's like, ooh, sounds too good to be true, don't be excited too quickly. Although it's not a hopeful thing. It's done, it's going to happen. Obviously there's no more money in my bank account at this moment, but there will be, and that's for certain. I've had confirmation of that. And see, this is so strange too, how much our outside circumstances are dictated by, how much our internal state can be dictated by circumstances outside of us, but yet they're still just thoughts. I just spoke to someone on the phone for 15 minutes and suddenly my lifelong struggle seems to be over. Not instantly, but the resources are there. The financial resources for me to heal, to rest, to survive, to function properly, the psychological help. Suddenly, in one phone call. And it's something, yes, I had planned on working towards that, but I didn't know, as I said, if or when it would happen. But I could not hope and hang on to that yesterday and the day before. It could have as well have been, it could have been, it could have not worked. My request could have been refused, or so it's so strange. It's like, obviously it's not that type of amount of money, but it's like I won the lottery suddenly. It's not a significant amount of money, but yet compared to the situation I was in yesterday, where I was afraid I would be homeless, and suddenly there's help. Yeah, I'm so tired now, and I'm tired because it's late, but I was also, as soon as I hung up the phone, it's funny, I didn't jump out in relief and happiness. I remained, a part of me couldn't believe it, yet I could not deny it either, because it's not like, oh, you went to an interview that went well and you hope you get the job, and once you get the job you hope you like it and they like it, and you have the energy. In my case, you hope you have the energy to able to keep up and not end up on sick leave after a few weeks or months. Obviously I didn't find a permanent solution, but I found help, and now I can have hope that I'll be able to heal, and that working and making money will just be a usual normal things like other people do, in hopefully in a couple of months. So the first thing that came, and that's something I've been saying for a few years now, I keep asking myself, if I had the money, or if I had, when you wonder what you would do when you don't know what to do, and someone asks you, what would you do if money was not an issue? What would you do if you won the lottery? And in the last couple of years, the only thing I could answer to that potential question was, if I had no financial problems right now, I would sleep for 6 months. I'm exhausted. And although I have been out of work, and I've been not working for the last 3 years, they've been stressful years, financial survival, financial insecurity years, and so there was a lot of guilt from about not doing what's right, but then knowing and feeling that I was not able to do it, and having that validation too, that what I've been through in childhood is major. It's not something to be brushed off. It has consequences, and I'm not crazy. And receiving that help, is receiving that validation, actually I think it will help in the healing process. It will help to remind myself that this is not just in my head. This is not an excuse I give myself to because I don't want to work. That's not true. I want to work like everyone else. On top of working, I would like to have a meaningful career, but that seemed so out of reach due to the trauma and the low self-esteem and self-confidence and the chronic fatigue that resulted from that trauma. So, wow. And to bring this back to the meditation, my meditation was not quieter for that. Not at all. It was just as noisy, screamy, all thoughts racing. And I tried to often come back to that feeling, that sensation of just being, just existing, and noticing the thoughts. But it was still very loud and very chaotic and screamy. But the thing is that although the thoughts are a bit different from yesterday's thoughts, they're still mostly the same style, I guess. And they didn't say anything today about, yeah, they said different things. Oh, you'll have to think about that, don't forget that. And they always try to drag us in, drag us along for the ride. And I went along a few times and then I came back. It's like I do realize, but I don't realize at the same time. And there are pitfalls to that as well. I mean, it's not like I'm suddenly rich at all. It's not a lot of money, but it's safety. It's basic security for the months to come. And maybe more than months if I need more. It's such a relief. So I feel so tired now. It feels like I can start my 6 months of sleeping instead of, spinning around in the house during the day while my daughter's at school, because I feel guilty for not having energy. So going to rest, but feeling guilty that I'm sleeping, so I don't sleep, but I'm tired, so I'm not productive and efficient. So giving myself permission to rest properly while not compromising basic needs is such a relief. It's such a relief. So I'm tired. And I think I'm going to sleep a different kind of sleep tonight. And it'll also be an opportunity for my ego to find something else to worry about. And I was always fixated on that money thing. So now that I have tools, I have help, I have financial support, my ego will have to find something else to make me suffer. And I expect challenges because we can be addicted to emotions. We are actually. That's why it's hard to change your state, your inner state. The happier you are, the happier you get. But if you've always been unhappy and depressed and scared and anxious, you're addicted to those chemicals. Emotions are chemicals in the body and you can become addicted to them. So I expect that even though what I use as an excuse to feel those chemicals of stress and anxiety in my body, now that I fixed the problem, the supposedly source of those emotions, my ego, my mind will come up with all kinds of new things for me to worry about, to create those chemicals, those anxiety chemicals in the body. But I'm aware of that, and I will have the support I need to go through that. And I'm going to do my best. I'm going to keep meditating. Yeah. So, was that day 50? How fun. At the precise middle of the journey when solution came. And it's actually true that the solution didn't come from me. It came on its own.